morning. It's a beautiful Monday morning here for me in Brackley. My name's Jenny McCormack. I'm from Gemini Crafts and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. So one thing I haven't quite worked out with my new setup, which I'm very pleased with, is I can't always see now who has joined. It doesn't come up with the little icons of people. So if you are joining me, feel free to just put hi, so that I know that there's somebody there. I'm sure there will be. You don't have to make any other comments if you don't want to, but you're always welcome to ask questions and the like. So, this morning I thought I would just continue on from my Friday session, and on Friday I opened a new kit box for making cards, and it makes 15 cards, and I did which one did I do? I did this one live on Friday. So the box contains everything you need to make this card. It includes all the glue and everything, and this really pretty envelope. So this morning I made these two. So this is another two in the series, and this one here. So what I thought I would do for today is I'm going to make the other two in the set. So if I've got any beginner card makers watching, you can see how you can create these from the kit. And then I've got some ideas for what you could do as either alternative cards if you wanted to reach out, or if you finish the kit, how you could go on and make more cards with it. So I hope that is useful. The name of the kit is called Simply Citrus. Oh, hi Anne-Marie. Hi Jeanette. So the kit itself, I won't go through it all because you can watch the video from Friday, but the kit itself comes in a box and it has everything you need, including some printed photographic instructions. And these are here. So these are the three that I have done already. The Just a Note, Hello Sunshine, and Thanks for Being You. And those sentiments are interchangeable. So if you don't like Hello Sunshine, if that's not something you would send, then just to substitute it for one of the other sentiments. And in the set you get some stamps, and the sentiments say way to go, Just a Note, Hello Sunshine, and Thanks for Being You. Sorry, they're not straight on there, which is why they look a bit blurry. And then you also get the lemon, the slice, the leaves, and the little flowers. So these are the ones that I created over the weekend. So let me show you how to create the other two. And then for the more avid crafters, I can show you some other things that you can do with this kit. So let me put the envelopes out of the way to start with. So I'm going to do this one first, and I'm hoping, yes, you can just see that. I've just got the components out of the box as is. And all you have to do really is look at the photograph to see what you need. You can follow these little numbers here, and that will tell you exactly what to do. So I've got this base card here, like so. I've got this layer. Now you'll notice that that layer looks quite different to this one. And that's because they've used the stamps to overstamp the detail. If you look at the slices of oranges and lemons, for example. Okay, so you could optionally leave it like that if you prefer, or you could add some detail, or you could do sort of half and half. We have this little blue flag that goes behind. We have a circle ready for stamping our message, and we have some little string, so this is called baker's twine, that we're going to wrap around the card. And you probably can't see that detail, but there are these tiny little flowers dotted in there. The flowers come in the kit as well, and they're just dotted in to add a little bit more detail. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp my sentiment onto here, and it comes with the ink, and it comes with the sentiments and the block. So if I didn't want just a note and I wanted to use thanks for being you, as long as it fitted in the area, then I could substitute that. And if you're an existing crafter, obviously, and you've got other sentiments, you can of course use those. Just going to loop my wire out of the way here. Don't know why it's in a different position. Hopefully that is out of your, just out of your way. Not quite. Let me bring this a bit further over. Don't want it falling in the middle. Okay, it's wedged in. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my just a note. So the best thing to do is pop your stamp down face up so you can see what it is, and press your block onto it. And if you've got some scrap paper, then I would recommend stamping onto the scrap paper first. So this is not a messy kit. There's not wet glue to go everywhere. It's suitable for working with children as well. Obviously just watch the ink if you're working with young children. So this is a navy blue ink, but if you're at home and you've got other inks, you could obviously use those. So I've inked that up, and I'm just going to practice on my scrap paper. So that's perfect. So I'm going to re-ink it. And pop it onto here, like so. Now the little circle has stitching around the outside, which you may or may not be able to see. Okay, so there's my just a note. So let me take the base card, and the first thing I'm going to do is wrap some of the baker's twine around the card. I think they wrapped it sort of twice. So I'm just going to measure out, and a little bit for the bow. So the only thing you will need with this kit is some scissors. I guess you could use a kitchen knife or something. I'm just going to wrap this round like so. I'm going to position it roughly in the middle. Like so. And they had theirs going over the top, but I think I'm just going to have mine here to the side. So it's got my hands right in the way of seeing what I'm doing. There we go. So I've just got a little bow, and then you can move this round if you want to. A little knot, I should say, rather, not a little bow. Okay, so that's that layer. Now what I want to try is stamping this outline to make this look sharper. So let's give it a go. So let's try with the slice first. So I'm just inking this up, and then looking for where the slice goes. Like so, hopefully. Yep. Okay. Re-inking that again. Let me bring my scrap paper back in. So now I'm going to go off the end here. So just watch that if you're working on your Beth dining room table. Not a good idea to go straight onto that. Although these inks that we're using here are washable. They're water-based. Okay, so it makes quite a difference between adding those and not. So it's entirely up to you. I noticed on this one that I did earlier this morning, this also had outlines for the lemons and everything and the flowers, and I didn't stamp that. So it's entirely up to you really. It just depends on the effect you would like. So I say, do say hi if you're joining me, because I can't see who's here and who isn't. Only if you want to, of course. So I think what I'm going to do is do the slices but leave the leaves. There we go. So entirely up to you whether you do it with the stamping or without. Okay. So for the leaves, this comes as a set of 2. Okay, so you just work your way round on each set if you wanted to. Okay. So according to the photograph here, I've got that layer, and then I've got the blue layer and my Just a Note on top. So I could tuck this under, which is how they had it. So I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back of here. So this comes with a kit as well. And these are our 3-dimensional foam pads. So they're double-sided, and then they have a layer of foam between, so that you get a little bit of height between your layers. It makes it look a little bit more interesting. Just going to pop just one in the middle, I think. You could do as many as you want. You have plenty of dimensionals in the kit, more than you'll need, unless you go completely mad and cover the whole back. So I'm just peeling these off here, like so. Voila. And I'm going to tuck this one underneath. Being careful not to drop it down till I'm ready. And I'm trying to keep that straight, and then this bit can move around obviously. There we go. This layer is going to go on top of that, and then my Just a Note is going to go on top. I'm going to put sort of put them either side of where this twine would go, and I'm just going to pull this twine so you see this piece on the edge. if you'd rather not see that, you can leave it in the middle. Put that on there, and then my just a note is going to go right on top. And for that I'm just going to use these flat glue dots. So they're basically a small amount of glue with a backing on it. So if you are an existing crafter, you could use your wet glue, or you could use tape for that if you wanted to. So I'm just going to peel off the backing. Like so. I lost one here on the way. The problem is once you take the backing off, you can't see them. No. Just put another one on. There we go. And then my just a note is going to hop onto here. Like so. So there we go. Doesn't look very straight, does it? There we go. So there's one card done. I'm going to do the other one a little bit more quickly, and then I'll show you some alternatives that you could do either instead of or in addition to, depending on how much of the kit you'd already used. So that's the fourth card, and they're just really nice and bright colours. You know, if you just want to send a thinking of you type note, it's perfect. So the last one has this as the base. It has this one here, and what they've done is they've added the outline to the leaves, which I will do, and then we've got these tiny little stars in here, or flowers. So I'll add those, and then we've got way to go. So let me do those quickly. And just going to do the leaf outline on this one. What weather have you got, Anne-Marie? Just going to shut the windows because they've started mowing the lawns. We've got glorious weather here. It's probably about 26 degrees centigrade. So I'm literally just positioning that over the leaves. And it doesn't matter if it's slightly off. It's all about being handmade. Here's another one. Like so. And then they've added these tiny little flowers, just as little accents. So let's do the same. And put one there. It makes a real difference actually with those outlines. So if you're going bold, then I would definitely add the outlines. If you want it as a more softer look, then don't bother stamping the outlines, just leave them as is. There we go. Sweet. Right, let's pop on I tend to do all the stamping first, and then you can put the ink out of the way. It's got way to go, but I still like just a note, so I'm going to be awkward and do just a note. There we go. And it's quite nice because it's printed almost at a jaunty angle, so you don't even have to have it straight. Okay, so the cards all come pre-printed and pre-scored, so all you have to do is fold them over. This one is going to go straight onto there. I might do it a different way. No, I'll do it their way. I'm going to pop some dimensionals on. Which I've just put down. They're under here. Yes, they are. How you can lose something in a small area, I just don't know. There we go. Voila. So if ever any of you have been following me for a little while, you'll know that our Christmas catalogue, which is the addition to our normal catalogue, goes live tomorrow. So you can order from that. So if you haven't received my copy, I do have a few more to send out, then let me know. Or if you're not on my list and haven't received one before, then let me know. It is straight, but it's an optical illusion because those lines aren't straight. Okay, let's put this strip down here, and I'll use my glue dots for that. Sorry, let me bring that up a little bit. I've got my blind closed because it's really bright sunshine, so I'm hoping it's not affecting your view quality too much. 3. So I'm going to have this, actually what I might do is put a dimensional on the end, so that it's sitting the same height as this one, like so. There we go. And you can position that wherever you want. If you want to change the layout and have it standing portrait rather than landscape, so that it was this way round and higher, you could do that. And my just a note is going to go onto there. Put a couple of those on because that's nice and quick for you to see. Now they've added a little bit of baker's twine, which you could do. Little bow. There we go. And there we have it. Card number 5. So the kit comes with envelopes, and it comes with all of those components. So a couple of things you could do. You could stamp some of the fruit and the leaves and things inside. You could stamp a message inside. So for example, I could take the leaves. Oops. Should really have stamped that off in between, shouldn't I? But never mind. So what you could do on the inside of your cards is decorate them, make them a little bit more unique. So here I'm just using the ink from the kit and the leaves, like so. Put my scrap underneath. There we go. I might just put another one on in there. This looks like a flower. So you could decorate the insides, you could add more sentiments inside, and you can also decorate the outside of your envelopes in the same way. So I could add the leaves. You could have them coming all the way down one side if you wanted to, but I'm just going to put the 2 leaves there, just so that you're making it more unique to yourself. And if you've got other stamps and other sentiments, of course, you could add those. So let me show you the 5 cards that you can make with the kit. So that was the one we've just done. That was the one that we did to start with. This was the one I did Friday, and then these 2 I did this morning before starting. So a couple of other ideas. You could take one of the base cards and do something completely different with it. And what I had in mind was to stamp all over this with the orange or the lemon slices and the lemons. Oh, hi Carol with an E. Thank you for joining us. So I could use the blue. I'm actually going to switch it out for my favourite early espresso. But just to show you what else you could do with this. So I'm going to pop my lemon. I'm going to grab early espresso and stamp this over as a background. So I'm going to turn these round. I think these are so cute. And I'm going to add into the mix some of the slices as well. So before I get too carried away, I'm going to add in some slices so that I don't run out of space and find I've got no space left for the slices. So just creating a background. You could use the leaves as well. That would work. So I'm just going to alternate these. Little one there. And if you didn't like using this part of the card, you could cut this off, use the plain side, and then use that for another card. So that would make your cards go further. So you basically, as a card maker, you make that into a different layer. Like so. Now, as this is my base card, I'm not going to colour these in, but I'm going to do another one with a coloured in layer so you can see. I'm not quite sure how I got so inky this morning. There we go. And as I get close to this border, I'm going to fold this over like so. And then what you can do is put a block on it if you want to hold it, hold it down. That's not a particularly big block, but it will do the job, like so. So you're not having to hold it the whole time. Just put my thumb in the ink. So let's have this one here. And what I did think, is that this would make a really nice mix with the cocktail set. So I missed a little bit here. I can see it's still on the stamp. So I'm going to try and just stamp over it, which is difficult with the camera in the way, but hopefully. Oh, didn't really work, did it? Never mind. Might be able to cover that up. So yeah, so I did think that this would work well with the Nothing's Better Than cocktail set, because you could have this and then you could have the slices of oranges and lemons and things underneath the layer. Go. And then finally this one. Okay. So what I've done is created that background. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is use, now I've got some banners cut out. I can get to them behind the blind. But you could use a banner from your kit, of course. But what I was thinking is just having this coming down from the top with a message. You could also have it coming in from the side. That would also work. Or coming in from there. So just something a little bit different. Let's have it coming down from the top. And what I thought I'd do is add some oranges and stuff as well as the sentiment. So let's give this a go, and then I'm going to colour these in. So I've got a plain background stamped, and then I'm going to add these. So what I'm going to do is just pop that one there, add in slice, like so. Being extra careful to stamp that properly now. And then I'm thinking, just a note, will just fit in the bottom. And I might add the leaves in as well. And then what I'm going to do is colour these in. So I hope you can see that okay. Thinking it will just fit. Let me just stamp that. Yeah. Like, oh, that was lucky, wasn't it? Literally did just fit. Going to add the leaves, but I am going to chop the very top of that off, I think. Just for a different look. There. So what I'm thinking is to put it at the top there. I could have it lined up with that. That would be a bit cunning, wouldn't it? Or have it just completely separate. But I am going to chop the top off just because I think that would look a little different. So I'm going to do that just with my trimmer. So I don't trust me to cut it straight with scissors. So I'm just going to put this in my trimmer just with the edge of where that banner starts, like so. I want a little bit of the greenery in, like that. So I'm thinking that would be fun, just like that. Almost like, you know, you put a paper clip on with a note, which you could do. So the question is, will I line it up with that? Doesn't quite line up the way I've cut it. Oh, it might do. Okay, I'm going to colour it in. Let me know if you think I should line it with that one or not. The alternative is to do it that way. Okay. I'm going to colour in. Let me know what you think. Should I line it up or not? Right, so what do I have? I've got some light and dark Daffodil Delight for my lemon. I've got some greenery for my leaf. So I've got light and dark Granny Apple Green. And then I think I'm going to do my slice as orange, and I've got some new pumpkin pie pens, as my others are running out. I'll just take the top off that. So I think that, although this is Mango Melody, that would look nice with that, wouldn't it, of course. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the leaf. Let me take that out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So this is a small area, so I'm not going to do any massive colouring in for the leaf, because it's just a small area to work on. And then for the orange slice, I'm going to do light pumpkin pie all the way over, and then I'm just going to use the dark pumpkin pie where the rind and that would be. Let's turn it around this way. So. And you could use, obviously, lemons. You could use green, make it look like a line, of course. Go. And then I've got, as I say, light and dark Daffodil Delight. So I'm just going to do the dark coming in from the edge where this speckle is, top and bottom. So I've used early espresso ink, but you could use any other ink. And if you're using our blends pens, then a water-based ink is fine, or Memento ink. Just don't use Stays On permanent ink, because it will run with these pens. So to make this blend nicely, just use a circular motion over the join, for want of a better description, and then you get this nice soft blending. Okay. So, what do we reckon? Turquoise on? Lined up? Or with it that way. I really can't decide. I quite like it that way because the other one is I'm going to stick with it that way. So you could wrap some twine around the edge if you wanted to. You could add more detail in, so you could add more flowers, leaves if you wanted to, but I'm just going to pop that on and use some dimensionals to lift it up. 2, 3, 4. There we go. Just took my hand side. There we go. Just a note. And I could stamp the lemon slice or whatever, lemon inside. So there's one idea. Now you could do that on the card that's provided, or you could do it on your own card. So if you had used all of the cards made up, you could use this straight onto some Mango Melody card, for example, or Daffodil Delight. Alternatively, you could cut this card in half and use those onto some white card bases. So that's one idea. And then here's another one, and I'll be done with you for today. Or you'll be done with me for today. It's making me thirsty, actually. I think I need a nice Diet Coke with lots of ice and lemon in it. So for this one, what I'm going to do is use this base, although I could switch the base out, and all I'm going to do is stamp all over that as a panel, and then have a small sentiment underneath. I could put the sentiment in there and all over, but I just want it multi-layered, really. I can change the card out. So all I'm going to do is very similar to my background, but I'm going to add the leaves, and this would be completely coloured in. Okay, so just going to start off on the edge, like so. Let's find my little slice. So again, this is early espresso, but you could use any colour. And I'm going to pop the leaves. Actually, I was going to have them attached, but I'm just going to have them loose. So I'm just going to build this up really quickly. So just making sure when I'm stamping them that any three are equidistant to each other, and then you get a nice all over design. And then I'm just swapping out the stamps in between. So if you can see that any three are the same distance. Like so. Let's put a slice at the top, like that. Some leaves. And a slice. And then I just need something coming off the end. So if you want to make it look natural, like you've just cut it out of a section, just make sure you're going off the edge, off all of the edges, and you're not just trying to fit it in. Okay. So, we leave that there so you can see. And all I'm going to do is just colour this in. I'm going to do it really quickly, well, as quickly as I can. So I'm just going to do all of the leaves and then the other bits and pieces. So this is not going to be a masterpiece, because I can go back in and improve on it later. So I don't want to outstay my welcome. So I really do like this kit, I have to say. I really do. So you can order it from me. If you live in Brackley, I can deliver it free of charge. And if you want to see more of the kit actually being opened and in action, have a look for my live on Friday, last Friday, 31st of July, and you'll see that from scratch, opening the box and everything, so you can see how it comes. Right, that's all of my leaves, and let's do, I suppose I could have done those a different colour, but I could have made these lemons, so they were just lemon slices. Never mind, I'm here now. I could also vary them. Go. Is that all of it? Yes, it is. And then these ones I'm just going to add a little bit more detail there and blend it in. So very therapeutic colouring in, if you like colouring in. I know a lot of people have the colouring in books. You can lose yourselves with them, and it's nice to be able to do something with them. So, you know, do consider making them into a card or framing them and giving them to somebody. And if you have any pages in there that you don't like, give them to somebody else. Give them to a child that would enjoy colouring in. Okay, I'm just going to do this really quickly. So I've just got the blending on one side going on here, just for speed really. So remember, you want to use a circular motion over the join, then you'll get a nice soft look. Whereas if you I just do that, you still see the harsh line. And you just have to work it a little bit. There we go. So that's my layer there. And what I'm thinking is just to put that on there, find a little, it's a little bit big, isn't it? Let's see what I could find. That's the wrong sort of shape. What I really want is just a straightforward strip. So I might cut one up. I've got any here. Yes. And put on it just a note. So I'm going to stamp on it first and then I'm going to cut it out. Oh, that wasn't very well stamped, was it? It's just as well we have two sides to every piece of paper. There we go, that's better. I'm going to trim that down into a strip. So I just want a little bit of a layer or something behind it. Let me find my scissors. Oops. and I just want a strip of something. Let me just find a scrap of coloured card that will go with that. So I have this one here, which is Daffodil Delight. Let me trim that down. And there we've got another card. Now again, you could do this with plain white card, you could do it with coloured card. You don't have to use the cards from the pack if you didn't want to. But I've chosen them just to show you a variation, really. So I'm thinking, not quite sure what width really. Like so. Too thick, isn't it? So I'm going to put this down first, using my dimensionals, which have flown the nest yet again. Here they are. So I hope you're well, Carol. Jeanette, I hope you all had a nice weekend. And Marie. As I say, anybody else who joined us, I can't see you in detail, so I apologise if you're watching, but I haven't acknowledged you. So that's my next thing to sort out in my technical plan. Do it like that, actually. That sort of works, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do is stick this down first, just make sure it's long enough, and then add that on top. So just going to trim the edge of that. Now I can pop that on with the glue dots. I'm just going to use some wet glue, as I have some here. Oops, see? But if you are using just the stuff in the kit, then you could use the glue dots. Pop that onto there. And that one on top with some dimensionals. All done. I could have put a little banner end on it really, couldn't I? But never mind. Like that. Trim the excess little bit off. It's easiest to turn it over and use your scissors against the card. That stops you cutting into the card by mistake. And I could add some of those dinky little flowers. Here they are. So they're like a white vellum. Let's have 3. And these go on with the glue dots. So let's put one here, one here, one here. Oh, I could put one on there. Now I have to have another one. There. So just lift the top of the glue dot off and pop that straight on, like that. These little flowers are very cute. They're like the flowers in the Boho Indigo set, but they don't have the little wooden beads on. But you could add a bead on with a bit of glue. Just get 2 more out. And you could also colour them. Let me see if I could colour one for you. Let's put this one on. So I quite like the white against the patterns. And then if you take one of these and some scrap paper, and just run your blends pen. So if you haven't got any blends pens, you're colouring in the different method, you could use a Sharpie permanent marker, or you could use our normal pens, but you'd have to let them really dry in between and perhaps do a few layers. Take that off there. Then pop that one on top. There we go. So 2 alternatives for the Simply Citrus kit. So there's this one here and this one here. You can tell I like the Just a Note sentiment, can't you? So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've gone on a little bit, an hour, but hopefully that's been useful. So where was the cards I made? So we've done 4 this morning. So this was the one I did earlier with the stamping over. This was the one I did using the kit. So those are both using the kit as is. And these are 2 alternatives using the stamps, the card, but using some alternative colouring methods. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed those. I'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday at 3 p.m. With something completely different. So I do hope you can join me. Take care and look after yourselves. Look after each other, please. And stay safe, and I do hope you're able to keep crafting. Thank you so much. Bye bye.